So now we need to decide what happens when how we calculate the loss for a y, comparing that to a y hat. And what we'd like is if our training example, let's say, so if our y is a 1 and y hat is very, very close to 1, the loss is very small. And if y hat is close to 0, the loss is very, very large. Conversely, if y is 0 and y hat is close to 0, the loss should be very small. And if y is 0 and y hat is close to 1, the loss should be very large. And of course, it should be continuous within there. So here's what we're going to use for a loss function. And this is called binary cross-entropy. So it looks like this. The loss of x comma y is going to equal to, where x in our case is just our pair, x1, x2, is just going to be equal to, let's actually not use x. So our cross entropy is going to look like this. Our loss between y and y hat, where again y hat is this sigmoid of f of x, is going to be equal to, well, we are going to use, and I'm going to just give it to you and then we'll look and see why it makes sense. So we're going to use y log y hat. This is the first part. And so this is going to take care of if y equals 1. So let's just look what happened if y equals 1. So if y equals 1, well, let's say y hat were equal to 1. Okay, we happen to know y hat is only going to approach 1, but let's just see if y hat were equal to 1. So let's do a little table here. So if y is 1 and y hat is 1, the loss is going to be equal to the log of 1 is 0. So the loss is going to be equal to 0. What if y is 1 and y hat is equal to 0? Well, the log of 0 is negative infinity. When we multiply that by this negative sign, it's going to be positive infinity. Let's just do one more. Let's say we have y hat is 1 over e. Okay, just because that'll be an easy value to compute. So the log of 1 over e is negative 1, and so negated is going to be positive 1. And then we just need to take care of the other case, where y is 0. So in that case, we'll take a 1 minus y. Right? So basically what will happen, if y is 0, then this term goes to 0. If y is 1, this term goes to 0. So only one of these terms is going to be relevant. So this is 1 minus y, and this is times log of 1 minus y hat. And again, this term is for the case if y equals 0. So again, if continuing our chart, if y equals 0, then this term is 0, and this now is 1 times log of 1 minus 0. So log of 1 is 0, so this term is 0 too. So that's correct. And again, if y is 0 and y hat is 1, then this is going to be a term that is negative infinity, and so this is all going to be positive infinity. Okay, so it'll approach it again as y hat gets closer and closer to 1. This value is going to get larger and larger and larger.